What is up, YouTube? It's Keltick here. Today I am back with another Smite how to build and play, and today we've got Cerberus. He's the newest god to join us in the battleground, and I've got to say right up front, he is a lot of fun. I have played enough to master him already, and he is a good time. Now let me share what I have learned. So just as usual, we're going to quickly dive into his abilities. I'm not going to spend too much time on these because I finally realized that screenshots are a thing, so let's dive in. For his passive, Cerberus reduces all healing around him by 20%, and then he also gets healed whenever the enemy gets healed by about 40% of that amount. It's kind of weird, he's a vampire guy. Next, I have to explain another weird passive that he has, and then his second ability. Basically, his three heads are either active or passive. They start in passive, you can either auto-attack or use his second ability to put them into active phase. But this second ability also slows, does a lot of damage, and shreds protection, so this second ability is very strong. Now that we understand how the heads work, we have to move on to his first ability. Basically, no matter what, this fires one projectile, but based off of how many heads are active, it can fire up to another 3. If he has all 4 shots heading out, and all 4 shots in this line attack hit someone, they are stunned. It does a lot of damage. It's incredible. You level this ability first. A lot of damage. I recognize that right off the bat, and looking at those numbers, it doesn't look like this ability does a lot of damage, but what you have to realize is each hit does damage. The first hit, 100% damage, second hit, 80%, third hit, 60%, last hit, 40%. That adds up incredibly fast. Trust me, just trust me, it does a lot of damage. Chunks, especially the mages. Third ability, jumps in the air, leaps per se. And then when he lands, he does damage and creates souls on the ground. These souls are only hittable by Cerberus, and if he kills them, it heals him. This move is actually really neat. I love this kind of mechanic. Ultimate, Cerberus slams the ground, picks everyone that was in that circle up, and then he can throw them all onto one spot. This is incredible for setting up kills, especially if you can get a 5-man pull. Oh, it's so good for displacement. The damage isn't too great, especially considering it's a magic powered ability, but it is a lot of fun. It's a really strong CC. Well, that took longer than I thought I would, but that's why I give myself a little bit more time in these videos. But let's dive into something that I think is important to cover, and that is leveling order. I recommend leveling the 1 first, so you want to get that to max as soon as possible. After that, you can go and level the 2. Do not level his ultimate as it comes up. You can level your ultimate after you finished capping out your first ability and second ability. Again, that ultimate does not do a lot of damage in comparison to the other abilities, so you want to get that shred online and that really strong stun online. At max rank, that first ability, if you can land it, has a 2-second stun. That is incredibly huge. Now, what's really awesome about this character is his moves have a lot of synergy between them. For instance, you can often, and I don't recommend this on a lot of characters, which is why I'm really excited, you can jump in as this character. You're going to be tanky because you're going to be a tank. This is a guardian, but you can jump in. Usually I never recommend jumping in, even as a guardian, but with this whole soul mechanic, you want to jump on as many things as possible. This makes your engagement incredibly strong, because the more things you hit, the more you can heal. So you want to jump on as much crap as possible, then no matter what you're popping, be it your ultimate or your second ability with that cone, you're going to be killing those souls and healing yourself as you go. It's incredibly potent. So before we dive into the specific build that I have been using, I want to quickly touch on a couple items that I think make this character a hell of a lot of fun. First being Spear the Magus. So we already know that his second ability does a lot of protection shredding. What else does a lot of protection shredding? Spear the Magus. Together, these things combine to do even more protection shredding. Now, if you also throw in Void Stone, which is incredibly strong right now, you can end up making you and your mages, or whatever magical characters you have on your team, do true damage. And whenever you can make those carries do true damage on other carries, you immediately have an advantage. So that is one item. The other item is Gem of Isolation, because I like stacking slows. The 2 at max rank has a 12% slow, and then Gem of Isolation has a 25% slow. If you combine these, that's 37%, and that is an incredibly good slow, and it's a lot of fun to just watch people struggle to get away. So now let's get into the build and why I'm using it. So basically, this is the core of the build. It's on screen now. I am building the blue boots instead of purple boots because I value CDR over flat penetration on this god. Remember, you get a lot of penetration through your kit, and you want to utilize that. Plus, mana and CDR are pretty good on this god. Following suit with mana and CDR, there's Breastplate of Valor. Only difference is, it also gives you some protection, which you are going to need. I've already touched on why I love Void Stone, but to reiterate, penetration. It's great. Now, there's two options you can really go after that core build. You can either go into more damage or more defense. If you decide to go damage, I recommend Spear of the Magus and Gem of Isolation. I've already touched on why. Now, if you go more defensive, you want to just pick up some of those good tanky items like Hide of the Urchin and Stone of Gaia. Now, in both cases, I am wrapping up the game by grabbing either Spirit's Robe or Mantle of Discord. Make sure in no circumstance are you grabbing both of those with that specific build, because then you're going to be overcapping on CDR, and you never want to overcap on anything. That's bad. Got that? Good. Now, let's just recap quickly. Cerberus is a Guardian. Make sure you are being tanky at least a little bit. I don't know how well full damage Cerberus would work. I haven't tried it because I don't think it's worth my time to. If you try it, let me know how it works. But yeah, you have a lot of protection shreds, so make sure you're getting up in their face, shredding protections to make them easier to kill. And there you have it. That's Cerberus, and that's all the time I've got for this video. If you enjoyed watching today, leave a like on the video. It lets me know if you want to see more stuff like this. But anyways, time's running out. I gotta go. This is Keltick, signing off. Have a casual day. See you Friday for the Beginner's Guide.